Welcome. Immerse yourselves with us in the fascinating and almost forgotten world of the composer Paul Breuner, a name that exists in the annals of early 20th century music history, but whose work long remained hidden in the shadow of the avant-garde. Who was this man who moved between the disciplines of mathematics and music? Paul Breuner was born around 1902 and was a remarkable personality, influenced by his teacher Paul Hindemith and the exciting artistic currents of his time. We will explore his compositional journey, characterized by atonal and free-tonal elements, and possibly showing connections to expressionist music and early modern compositional techniques. At the heart of our consideration is Breuner's work, 5 movements for ensemble and voices variations on 2 themes. A composition that originated around the year 1927. This piece manifests Breuner's engagement with mathematical structural thinking and his individual desire for expression in music. It demonstrates his approach to form through variation and the integration of unconventional harmonies and dissonant structures. In this introduction, we will shed light on how Breuner's compositional style was influenced by German late Romanticism and early 20th century French music. We will investigate how he sought to combine tradition and innovation in his work, and what role mathematical precision played in his musical thinking. Join us on a sonic journey that will lead us from the initial influences of his youth through his study years in Paris to his engagement with the Berlin and London avant-garde. We will take a look at the structural peculiarities, the harmonic language, and the rhythmic richness of his music. Let us delve together into the sounds of Paul Breuner's 5 movements, and attempt to fathom the psychological aspects and the emotional depth that lie hidden in his music. It is the story of a composer who wandered between worlds, whose work is now being rediscovered, and offers us a unique glimpse into the musical soul of a turbulent era. Stay tuned for a deeper analysis of Paul Breuner's fascinating musical oeuvre.
Welcome to a musical journey into the past, to a rediscovery of the sounds and life of a fascinating, yet long-forgotten composer, Elise Moreau. Born in Paris in 1899, this talented French artist worked in an era marked by profound changes in art and society. Elise Moreau was a woman in a male-dominated world of music. Her path was marked by the struggle for recognition and the need to seek her artistic home in various European cities. Stylistically, her work belongs to the classical salon music of the early 20th century, but it also incorporates influences of musical expressionism and French impressionism. Her compositions, primarily for piano and voice, reveal a deep melancholy, introspection, and a yearning quality. These feelings often reflect her own life journey, her hopes and disappointments in the face of a challenging time. At the heart of our interest today is her moving Parisian song cycle. This collection of 3 songs is an intimate testament to her deepest emotions, her longing for the lost splendor of Paris, and her inner struggle as an artist. The cycle comprises 3 works. First, Les Regrets d'Amsterdam, a melancholic piano piece imbued with nostalgia and an underlying hope. Then, the poignant duet Paris, Ville Lumière Perdue, an elegy to the lost Paris, city of light, full of elegance and deep melancholy. And finally, the intimate art song for soprano and piano, L'ombre d'un sourire évanoui, which explores Moreau's personal story of an unfulfilled love in Paris, capturing the delicate shadow of a vanished smile and reflecting on fleeting moments of happiness overshadowed by lingering melancholy. Our story takes a fascinating turn in Amsterdam in the year 1936. There, Moreau's music comes into focus for 3 interconnected personalities who, like satellites revolving around the central star Elise Moreau, illuminate her work in a new light. There is Anne Vermeer, a modern Dutch mezzo-soprano inspired by the popularity of Schlager music of that time, who immortalizes a unique interpretation of Moreau's cycle on shellac records. Her voice captures both the classical elegance and the contemporary directness of the era. Wilhelmina Wille de Vries, a new objectivity avant-garde painter, is fascinated by Anna Vermeer and portrays her as a modern artistic figure embodying the spirit of Moreau's music. And finally, Jan van Brugge, a young, aspiring photographer from Amsterdam, documents this artistic moment, capturing Vermeer during her performances, De Vries at work on her portrait, and the atmosphere of the rediscovery of Moreau's music in 1930s Amsterdam. Thus, the echoes of a Parisian dream resonate in Amsterdam in 1936. The music of Elise Moreau, once consigned to oblivion, is rediscovered and reinterpreted through the passion and commitment of these three artists. Their story is a reminder of the often arduous path of female artists, especially in historical context, and of the timeless power of music to touch people across decades. The rediscovery of the Parisian song cycle is therefore not only a musical enrichment but also a tribute to a forgotten voice and a window into a moving epic. We invite you to continue engaging with the life and music of Elise Moreau and to rediscover the fascinating sounds of a bygone era.
Welcome to this brief introduction to the intriguing figure of Egon Varel, who also lived and worked under the name Dr. Baren Ernst. Born in Stettin, Pomerania, in 1883, Ernst led a fascinating double life that mirrored the artistic and intellectual tensions of the early 20th century. Publicly, Dr. Baren Ernst was a respected, albeit conservative, music journalist and critic. He studied musicology and philosophy, earning his doctorate in 1909 with a dissertation on Richard Strauss. For decades, Ernst contributed sharp and often polemical analyses to prominent German newspapers like the Berliner Zeitung and the Frankfurter Allgemeine Zeitung. He became known for his defense of traditional musical values and his critical stance towards the burgeoning avant-garde, often expressing skepticism towards composers like Arnold Schoenberg and Igor Stravinsky. His writings often championed composers he considered timeless and profound, such as Brahms and Mahler, while viewing more radical modern works with suspicion. However, unbeknownst to the wider musical world, Dr. Baren Ernst harbored a secret artistic identity. Beginning around 1912, he composed a significant body of experimental, avant-garde music under the pseudonym Egon Varel. This hidden creative output stood in stark contrast to his public pronouncements. As Egon Varel, he explored atonalism, unusual instrumentation, and influences from non-European musical traditions, showcasing a spirit of innovation and a departure from conventional norms. Varel's compositions, such as the fictional fragment Der Still from 1923, exemplified his exploration of silence, dissonance, and unconventional sounds. His works often featured fragmented melodies, microtonality, and polyrhythmic structures. This secret life allowed Ernst to explore his own radical artistic ideas, which he felt compelled to suppress in his role as a critic within a more conservative professional sphere. This duality reflects the broader conflict between tradition and modernity that characterized the artistic landscape of his time. The political climate of the 1930s further complicated Ernst's life. His refusal to denounce Jewish composers led to temporary exclusion from his critical activities. Later, during a period in London, his compositional style as Varel took on a darker, more fragmented quality, perhaps reflecting the anxieties of the era. Dr. Baren Ernst passed away in Berlin in 1957. It is said that shortly before his death, he confided his secret identity to a close friend. Tragically, he never witnessed the posthumous rediscovery and recognition of his avant-garde compositions as Egon Varel, which have since been celebrated for their groundbreaking nature and as a significant contribution to the early 20th century musical avant-garde. The story of Dr. Baren Ernst and Egon Varel remains a compelling example of artistic duality, inner conflict, and the complex interplay between public persona and private passion in a time of significant cultural and artistic change.